This video is brought to you by Mubi, a curated streaming service showing exceptional films from around the globe. Get a whole month free at mubi.com/SpikimaMovies. When you watch any film more than 3 times, you start noticing details that you never knew were there on your first watch. This superimposed image of a face in Midsommar took me 2 watches. The coffee shop owner from Pulp Fiction being credited as a literal coffee shop took me 3 watches, and the misspelling of the word acquisition in this infamous scene from American Psycho took me 4. But despite the myriad of visual details present in Everything Everywhere All at Once, all I could think of after my 3rd watch was how I never noticed the karaoke machine. Even if you haven't seen the film 3 times, by now you're probably aware of how the bagel and the googly eyes are visually inverted to represent opposing ideas. Nihilism for the bagel and existentialism or optimism for the googly eyes. That's why Joy starts off emptily staring at the laundry machine that resembles the bagel, and why the first weapon Wayman uses to turn the table is a cookie that structurally resembles the googly eye. In a similar fashion, the first few lines of all central characters in Everything Everywhere All at Once reveal their fundamental trait. Evelyn's first line reveals her obsession with time and responsibilities. Wayman speaks of his role as Evelyn's secret guardian angel. Gong shows his dependence on Evelyn for everything. And Joy mentions how she can just kill herself. Although it's cut from the final film, even Deirdre is constantly reminded of her quote-unquote unlovable personality throughout the film. As a matter of fact, the dialogue from the first act is precisely what unveils the complex relationships of our leading protagonists. When Joy tells Becky that her mom may say something dumb, like how she is fat or whatever, Becky passingly counters that with,
I thought you said when she says shit like that, that means she cares.
As expected, that's exactly what Evelyn says, but to Joy. From Joy's reaction, we can infer that although she understands the loving motivation behind Evelyn's statement, what she desires is a more direct presentation of love and acceptance, a transparent communication. And indeed, the communication barrier is exactly what hinders Evelyn and her family members from psychologically uniting. The film chooses to deliver this idea by emphasizing not just the lack of linguistic clarity, using Cantonese with Gong, Mandarin with Wayman, and English with Joy, but also by mentally separating all characters with their own unique problems. This is especially true for Evelyn, who faces the most number of problems in this film. Focusing on the various conflicts laid out in front of her will help you organize the chaotic events unfolding before your eyes, as they illustrate and foreshadow her character arc better than anything else. For instance, the very first problem Evelyn encounters, apart from the obvious issues with her tax, which we'll also get to, is the change machine that Rick claims is broken. Just as he put in a $20 bill to receive no change, Evelyn's perception of her own life is that of injustice, all her efforts and sacrifices yielding nothing in return. And before the first problem is even resolved, she faces another issue with the customer's missing laundry, conveniently labeled customer number 42. If you didn't know, the original script had the customer number written down as 32, which begs the question, why change such an insignificant detail if not to give a nod to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, where the number 42 is described as the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. The fact that Wayman put the pile elsewhere with his pair of googly eyes attached on it, saying that it feels happier there, which by the way makes more direct sense in the script as he has also drawn a smiley below the googly eyes, tells a lot about what Evelyn must do to find her true happiness. Note that the room where the pile is located is the same room Evelyn does her taxes, full of receipts that, according to Deirdre, tells the story of Evelyn's life. In essence, this problem explains to the audience that Evelyn is always missing the point, the beat, that all she needs to do is just look beside her, because the answer is right there. Going back to the subject of communication, the cause of her initial demise also comes from a simple misunderstanding, and her subsequent conflict with Jobu Tupaki and even her own father all mirror her current situations with her family members. The way Gonggong stays resentful toward Evelyn vaguely echoes Evelyn's own attitude toward Joy, and her fight with Jobu starts from Joy's wish to find someone who can understand her pain. In the end, Evelyn must go through exactly what Jobu has been through to see her eye to eye. Like this, Everything Everywhere All at Once is filled with small details that are almost intentionally hidden to prevent you from noticing them. For the longest time, I was actively avoiding making a video on this film because while it was my #1 film of 2022, I found the film to be way too vast, too out of its own hand, and almost accidental in what it has become. Everything that can be said about the film has already been said, ranging from the themes, the symbols, and even technical elements like VFX, locations, and aspect ratios. It's a film that needs to be experienced, not described. Yet here I am, pointing them all out once again because, as it turns out, there is one more circle in this film that is separate from both the bagel and the googly eyes. A circle that contains the said karaoke machine and is the first thing to appear in the film's opening sequence. The mirror. If you don't remember, the film begins with a slow moving shot of a circular mirror that showcases a short-lived moment in Evelyn's life when she was actually happy, bonding with her now distant family, singing karaoke, and being playful with her only daughter, Joy. This shot, which quickly turns into a reflection of the changed reality, engulfs Evelyn by zooming into her, standing before the table that maps out her life tale. But what does that have to do with anything, and why did the film start off this way? Is the shot even a flashback, or could it be yet another hypothetical universe that Evelyn must strive for by the end of the film? Well, I'm here to tell you that it does both, setting the ground for everything that has passed and is to come. If the bagel asserts the pointlessness of living and its statistical inevitability, or simply put, death, and if the googly eyes bring life to things that seem irrelevant by offering new perspectives, the mirror combines the two. The dark boundaries of the mirror suggest that all things within its walls are inconsequential concepts that will eventually disappear. But what lives within its frame isn't a void, but a reflection of reality. They approve that what is seen by the owner of its reflection is, in fact, alive and present. It emphasizes the palpability of existence before its vanity. In short, they contain everything that matters: family, self, love. If you consider all that is within the frame of this very film as another form of a mirror, every diversion that happens in Everything Everywhere All at Once becomes a crack of a glass, a path that deviates from what is of true importance, the life granted in the universe Evelyn currently resides in, or perhaps lives of everyone watching in the singular universe they share. The short glimpse of people around Evelyn appearing in the mirror supports the idea of missed opportunities to solve the big problem. How can we go back? In this sense, the opening is probably closer to a past memory than a potential, although the assumption is that she returns to this moment after the film ends. The wish to turn things around or to go back in time when everything made sense. All she had to do, as the missing laundry suggested, was to pause and look around.
Wait.
This is why the karaoke machine is the most vital object in the film. It represents her lost life, her past dreams, hopes, and joy, pun intended. The disappointed look on Evelyn's face as Wayman hurriedly blurts that
My wife confuses her hobbies for businesses.
isn't about the hurted ego, but rejection. The constant reminder of the karaoke machine on the receipt with a harsh circular accent serves to tell a story of Evelyn's life.
I am a singer.
It's the one
She
thing
has a
she
beautiful
needs to
voice.
keep to never let go in order to march forward, leaving her to ponder the question of where it belongs in the pile of nothingness that has the power to turn her last remaining hope into a meaningless void. This receipt is like a mirror, confined by the nihilistic boundaries, but shining by the reflection it creates. Perhaps the reason we all missed the karaoke machine is because Evelyn, too, was blind to its significance. Like Daniel Kwan himself has stated, when you stare at something for long enough, you can make anything meaningful. As insignificant as your past may seem, it has the power to change everything, everywhere, all at once.
Evelyn, did you hear me?
Sorry. What did you say?
Hello everyone, thank you as always for watching. Everything Everywhere All at Once has been a life-changing film for me, and I'm grateful that I got a chance to talk about it in a more personal light, away from my usual style of script. And if you enjoyed this wonderfully quirky maximalist film and want to experience more mind-bending works, I urge you to check out Mubi, the sponsor for today's video. Mubi is an online curated cinema streaming service dedicated to elevating great cinema from all around the globe, ranging from works of iconic directors all the way to emerging auteurs. And since every film is hand-picked, it's a great way to watch films you already love and also discover new films you haven't seen before. For instance, in Canada right now, you can watch works of Lars von Trier, a director I've covered in the past, and specifically his 2003 film Dogville, which is known for its use of fourth wall breaking settings and storytelling methods that is cinematically reminiscent of the daring approach seen from Everything Everywhere All at Once. And even if you're located elsewhere, there are still tons of other great films in Mubi's library for you to check out. So go to my link at mubi.com/SpikimaMovies for your extended 30-day free trial today. That's mubi.com/SpikimaMovies. So see you there, and thanks for watching.